Yes, thank you. Yeah, the recording is now on. Yeah, so let me welcome you again to this session. This is a session that is going to be of great impact into your project, as you'll be looking at the challenges that you're facing and trying to fix them. We are hoping that today, at least, you should almost be through with your implementation or the options for implementation. And I should be doing final touches on your product. Yeah, so let me just share what we have just for today. So next week we'll be doing testing and evaluation. So today is the last day for review in terms of checking at your progress, so that next week I will be putting you through to do the product evaluation. So basically what we'll be doing next week is just to check. We'll now open your requirement specification documents and checking and how you have confirmed that each and every functional requirement has been implemented. So we need to use today's session to maximize on the implementation of our projects. If you have any issue in terms of development, today is the forum to bring it on so that it can be solved. Yeah, whatever challenges that you have been facing, today should be the day that all of them should be fixed. So yeah, this is what we are going to do, is to review the progress in terms of how you are doing implementation. We are going to look at ratification and signing of client contact sheet. Those who have not submitted, because I know some have not submitted their client contact sheets. So what we are going to do is, please just pick a number, and through that, we are going to go through your project and check on how you're progressing, basically. Yeah, we had communicated last time uh, with Usman, and I realized it is a common problem, the same that was facing Dashiell in terms of connecting the database. So I would want you to be just very keen in terms of fixing the issues, so that don't be left behind today. Yeah, because if you are left behind, then it means you'll not be able to make progress. Yes, Dashiell, yeah, we'll be able to. Thank you, Sahil. You've really done the necessary. Dashiell, your number what? I can't see you. Okay, Dashiell, I believe you will be able to just check through so that you'll be able to apply the changes into your project. Okay, I'm seeing we are how many? We are 12, and only six have picked a number. Okay. Usman, I'll let you know. I think you are the first one, so I think you'll be able to just go ahead and. Okay, so we have 7. So the rest, please, Diego, Moses, and I think Naval is already there. Is Naval already there? Daniel. Kome, I don't see Kome. I don't know if he's away today. Dashiell, I see Paul. Paul has just shared some code there that can help you to connect to your database, to have the connection string. Okay, without much further ado, I would want Usman to project so that you tell us your progress and also the challenge that you are facing. You need to also tell us your functional requirement. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. You need to open your specification document somewhere and tell us what you have achieved and at the same time tell us what you have not achieved and the challenges that you are facing. So at least with that, we'll be able to knock off what has been done vis-a-vis what has not been done. And it's going to put us on check. Yeah, so let me welcome uh, Usman Mohammed just to showcase your work. So basically you open your requirement specification and you don't need to share with us, but uh, you can just narrate to us. This is what you wanted to do, and this is what you've achieved, and this is the challenge you are facing so far. Yeah, so please go ahead, Usman. And those who have not picked the number, please go ahead so that at least we move together. We want to move as a group. We don't want to leave anybody behind. Yeah, I want to move as a group, all of us, at least to move together. Don't be left behind. Please just join us. Yeah, so Diego, Daniel, Maurice, Koome, I'm not seeing Koome. You can, whoever has his contact can reach him so that he joins us. Yeah, but let me take this time to welcome you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Okay. Let me just share my screen.
Yeah, and I want us to work as a team. Yeah, whatever Paul has done is good because at least if you're stuck somewhere, I think Dashil, you'll be able to
Yeah.
take note of that so that you can get to where you are stuck. You can work around it.
Okay. So
I can see you have made some progress on the design. Huh?
yes, I have. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
So okay, fine. So this is my homepage. I have not
Yes.
so much of details into the homepage and to beautifying it. And my main thing was to at least first get the functionality up right, set right, and then later on, add in details. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the homepage. As you can see, there is the logo Fun Olympic Games. So what I did is then I broke it down into drop-down lists. This took me a while,
Yes.
and so I broke it down to avoid the cluster of too many things on the nav bar. So under games,
Yes.
there's the teams, there's the sports, there's the athletes, products, and there's the calendar. Then under statistics, this is the reports, prediction, and under the registration, I broke it down into three: admin, sign up, and sign in. So this is now what the screen is. This is what the screen shows. If you as soon as you come to the website, you don't need to be registered as a user to see this. So if you want to register, then you come to registration and then you sign up or you sign in or you go to the admin. And as you can see, then now these are the links. They do work. I've linked them. So questionnaire takes you to the questionnaire. The teams, as you can see, takes you to the teams. Statistics takes you to the reports, and then the registration takes you to the registration. Okay.
Okay.
So questionnaire. Now this questionnaire was designed as part of evaluation, part of my requirements of how I was going to, evaluate the system. Basically, a user can go to the questionnaire and just fill up these questions, which will, help to understand how the users find the system. So this is collecting the first name, the surname, the email address, the country, the gender, asking can you easily register, after how many minutes is a report generated, because I did mention part over here that it should be system should be able to generate the report based on the user's filter in less than 5 minutes. So to test that is why I generated the questionnaire. So based on it will ask the user how many minutes, then how easy is it to register a report? Are the statistics well informative? Is it easy to view the pre-recorded videos? Are various games promoted? Can reminders be set easily? So you see, once now the user has filled in this, they can easily come and submit. But they won't just be able to, come and waste the records. So how I filtered it is submit. You have to fill it the details. You can't just submit an empty form. And I was thinking to have a homepage here, but if you have a homepage there, it doesn't mean that you can have one. You can just easily go and click there. It will take you to the homepage. So I will have that removed. This was just for me to, as a testing, to just the questionnaire to appropriate. So let's see now. Let's say I fill in sir, Ishmael. So if I get your name wrong, sir, let's say anything, h at gmail.com. Country from, let's say Nairobi. Gender is male. Can you easily register? Yes. Let's say it takes you 3 minutes. How easy is it to register a report? Very easy. Are the statistics? Let's say no. And yes, no. And no. So this now, 1 minute, sir. So this now, what it does is, it collects the information and then we're able to collect the data from the user. So you click on submit. It comes and notifies you over here. Can you see this notification, sir?
Yeah, I can see.
Successfully updated the database. So
Okay.
I'll work on the language over here, of course. I just say, okay, it automatically redirects. Now, if you come to the database, right?
Yeah.
I created a database known as database registration and then the table feedback. So
Okay.
under feedback, as you can see, ID 25, this is automatic generated by the MySQL. So
Okay.
Sir, Ishmael, there, and then no, and then, you can easily see,
Okay.
right? And then, okay, fine. And then that's that. So if you carry on now, okay, fine. Okay, this games, team, sports, athletes, I'm not yet done, but I've not yet filled them in. They yet have to be filled in. So
Okay.
the statistics, the reports, and the prediction. But I worked on okay, admin page. This is just layout. I was working on the sign up page. This
Yes.
is completely it. Now I had a problem with the sign up, right? Let's say I put in a first name to be, let's say, Joe. And even this, you cannot just sign up without filling in the field,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So put it as Sir, enter your last name, let's say Joe. Preferred username, anything, let's say Joe. Country you're from, Nairobi. Enter your email address. So let's say I don't put email address. So okay, I don't put the email address and enter the sport you would like. So this asks the user what sport you want to watch. So the user come and just types, let's say, hockey. Enter the second sport. So let's say maybe anything, football. It's just a random. But the third one is not a must for them. All these others are must for them to fill in, but for the third one, it's not a must. So now they come and enter a password. Let's say 1234. Confirm your password. Let's say by mistake I put 1234 5. Mind you, let's okay even put this at gmail.com. Passwords are not the same. So I'll say sign up. It comes and automatically tells me the passwords did not match. You see that validation there, sir?
I can see. Okay.
And then it says an error has occurred because there's a similar email being entered. Please use a different. So that's how I kept a validation that a user cannot use the same email address to register. He can use the same name, but email address cannot be the same. So that is that. So it automatically takes you back. So to confirm, I can even go back to the registration. And if you can see, we had used H. It was h at gmail.com. and I can confirm that there is record there of H. Then to further, based on my requirement, um, I said, was it here? That when registering, capture spot will. Okay, I mentioned somewhere that I will kind of encrypt the password, so it will be hard to crack. So I used hash, and so that you can see on the password right now in the database, it's like this. It's hash. You
Okay.
cannot really make sense as compared to this one, right?
What is the difference between password and reconfirm password? Are they the same?
They're the same. So now that's what I was even consulting with my friend and colleague Paul Miner, and we were discussing, and he was just telling me, okay, there's no point of having the same confirm password and password, because I was just confused there, and so because you see, I typed in the wrong password, and yet it even told us the passwords do not match, yet it filled in the database. You see, so it's yet registered the user. So that's one of the issues I'm having, is that I'll put a wrong password, but yet it will update in the database.
Okay.
That's one of the challenges I'm facing, is that it will, I'll put a wrong password. Let's say, let's just fill it in again, anything random. Anything at random, yeah, just 1 minute, one thing at random. Okay, password, let's say I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, and here I'll put anything at random, yeah. Now let's see. Though it's what I intended it was for it to see, validate, this password, confirm this password. If so, then register this password and put them in the database. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, so do you think I should have the confirm password in the database?
No, no, not really,
Okay.
because validation should be done. There are two levels of validation. You can do it using jQuery, that is on the client side. You can also do it on the backend using PHP.
Yeah, I tried both.
Yeah.
But I really didn't understand. I really had difficulties because with PHP, I understand there is that silent, and there is the thing to do with the if conditions. With JavaScript, in fact, this I just managed it an hour ago, so it's still sketchy. I have not really done it properly, but somehow it is doing the job. But yeah, so we will see as we go on right now. So as you see, I've just done 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's a different password. So I click on sign up. It says the password. It does. Now this is using jQuery. It
Yes.
does. It does recommend password did not match. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay. Now for okay, and then so that's that. So if I click on, so it says did not match. Then though you see now this says that it has successfully created the user. So if I come back over here, yeah, and I say refresh, you can see it's there, but the password was totally different. So this is one of the issues I'm really facing.
Okay, so you can just open the script, the JavaScript.
Okay. So now this is the PHP side, and then this is the. So what I did was I created a Java kind of. I tried even doing PHP over here. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Uh, okay, it's not here. Anyways, so yeah, so this is the PHP. So what I was trying to do over here is using that password set, declaring the variable for password here, and you can see then I was trying to call it, but I didn't. It was not really working with the what's it called? Yeah, with the PHP. So then I just decided to do yes. So then I just decided to do the JavaScript, but we'll do both. If you recommend I do PHP, we can do PHP, sir, because I think PHP will be much better because it will be over here, you see. If this is true, then it will be able to update it. So let's see how it goes. But this is the JavaScript. So I said function match password, var p1 document get element password, var pow2, we confirm password, right? So that's that. Password did not match. Passwords created successfully. So then this is, so I came over here and I called it on click match the password, and then I came here and I just called for in the JavaScript match password. So let how can you help me now, sir?
Yeah, so because a form is being submitted,
Sorry?
you need to block the form from being submitted if the password is not correct.
Exactly. So first, do you recommend that I remove the confirm password from the table?
Yeah, you should go ahead and remove it because that is redundant.
Okay, so
It's
this now,
just
sir, this is in the form. In the form, it's okay, yeah. We
the form
confirm
is
password.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. So now I go to the
You don't,
data, to the PHP backend. So even from here, I remove it here because you don't want to post it into the database, right?
yeah, you don't need to post it into the database. It
Okay,
is
then
just
let me,
it is
it is
just there
just,
for validation, but not
yeah.
it's not important.
Okay, it is there.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
well.
let me quickly just update the database structure. This one, I don't want it to do you really want to execute the, yes. 1 minute, sir. Yeah, and then that is that. So it has successfully dropped. So now that is no longer there in the database. You've seen, yeah? Okay. Now let me, okay, sir. Now what do I do? How do I go on now?
Yeah, so you'll just check if you want to stop a form from being submitted,
Yeah.
then there is a jQuery.
Okay, we are using jQuery or we are using PHP now?
I believe you need to understand two things. There is the client validation, which is JavaScript or jQuery.
Okay.
Then you have, because I don't see validation. Okay, let me see the email address being entered. Yeah, you have to decide how you want. You can do both because sometimes JavaScript
So
will
when you're
fail.
saying client validation and backend validation, what is the difference? Isn't it the same thing? Because if the front end, if the password is being confirmed, it should reflect at the back end. Oh, what am I missing?
Well, when you're developing a product using web application, then you write codes both for the backend and front end, and there are languages that are done that are meant for the front end, and their languages are meant for the backend. So jQuery, JavaScript, all those are client side. They are code that are managing the client through the browser. The client, I believe you. If I talk about client, you know, I'm talking about
PHP.
browser, not PHP, but the browser. Backend is now the PHP.
Okay.
So any code that you write as a JavaScript is a client.
Ah, okay.
It is going to manage the client.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, but any code that you write that is going to manage your database, that's why you can't
Okay.
use jQuery to save your data into the database. You have now to use the PHP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you in terms of validation, you can always validate both ways, both the client because sometimes clients can fail, but the backend will never fail. So to be on the safe side, you can always put a similar code, which is
Let's do
redundant.
both. Let's do both. So, okay, so now for the jQuery, what do I need to adjust?
So you need just to confirm how you prevent your form from being submitted. There is a code that you can will prevent your code from being from your form being submitted.
Okay.
So you need just to check on that. There is either you can use jQuery or you can use JavaScript, whichever will be convenient to you. If you use jQuery, you'll write few lines of code. If you use JavaScript, you'll write a lot of code.
Okay, so you want me to come here. How to use jQuery to block a form
from submitting a form. You just have to return something false. You return that form to be
Stack Overflow. Let's see what they're saying. Document ready function. I tried out to be ready from submit function. So what could be wrong?
So you can see the form there.
Yeah.
The first option.
Yeah. He said this is how do I prevent a form submitting? I tried everything, but it won't work. None of this works. So let's see, show your HTML because return. So here, we need to return false after the submit.
Yes, but you have to override the default. Basically, when you click a submit form, the default function is to submit the form. So you have to override that and ensure that jQuery code is going to control the form submission.
So how do I do that?
Yeah, so first of all, your code is not jQuery. You see, your JavaScript code is not jQuery, first of all. So you have to convert it to jQuery.
How do I do that? Everything.
Yeah, the whole of that is not a jQuery code.
Okay.
So basically, you can always convert your code, whether you want to use jQuery or JavaScript, first of all. And once you put your code to be jQuery, then inside jQuery, you can write your JavaScript code. Yeah.
No, sir. You are having me floating.
Okay. Do this.
Why do I have to convert it? Can't I not just pick these keywords and put it?
No. Those codes are jQuery codes. And
So I cannot open a script and just say, okay, this like, oh, here what I did, script, this JavaScript.
Yes. Then the whole of that, you now need to make, you can copy that and put it under your script.
What do I copy?
Like the sample code that you've been given. But first of all, there are some basics that you need to understand. Just check your background. There's some background noise.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, sir. It's just that, you saw, I'm fasting today, yeah. So we Muslims have started our fasting. So just coordinating, multitasking with the kitchen and the teaching as well. So no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can see James and Paul, they've shared some
Oh,
sample links that you can
let me
use
see. Let me see.
to do the validation.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Thank you, James. Thank you, Paul. I've seen right now. Because when you're presenting, you can't see what's on the chat unless you can see. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, fine. Then, what to save time as well, and I'll even have to go and open my fast in a bit. So you'll have
Yeah.
to explain stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah,
what you need to know,
I will go through the
Usman,
links. Yeah.
what you need to know is what you need to do. So
Okay. Yeah. Tell me so I know.
first of all,
Uh,
yeah, if you write your JavaScript or jQuery, that is, if you're using the framework, yeah,
uh,
you have to write it robustly so that it's not
Bas-
bypassed
okay.
by your client actions.
Bosley. Yeah.
You write a um, robust code, as in you
Oh,
write a robust
code that cannot
conditional
be
check.
manipulated by the client.
Yeah, so that is bypassed. It is not bypassed by the client. But
What do you mean by bypassed?
if the client is bypassed, then you need to write uh, a, a backup validation on the PHP, which can never be bypassed. Huh?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, with the PHP, it can never be bypassed.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you mean by this bypass? Okay, it's just going as in the front end. It overwrites the back end. What?
Yeah, because sometimes the client, different devices have different browsers. Browsers are what we call clients. I believe
Okay.
you're aware of that.
Okay. No, you're telling me today. Okay.
Yeah, so the browsers are the clients. So sometimes different clients, depending on the device, may not execute the JavaScript
Okay.
properly, and
Okay.
which means,
So if they don't, then the back end will execute it properly. Yeah.
yeah, but you can't go wrong with the backend with the
Hi.
PHP code.
So okay, so that's number one. So
Yeah.
basically, it's good then to have even the front and the backup as well. So I'll have to do that too.
No, 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 no.
So
It is not okay. It depends. You will
okay,
not be penalized
okay,
if
because
you have done the client side validation. You will never be penalized.
okay, okay,
It will be marked as done. So I'm just giving you a general hint,
ideas,
so that
ideas.
if you are
Mm.
asked why didn't you do it in the backend, then
Uh,
you have a reason of saying that. You have
uh,
you know what is happening and how you can control both of them.
mm.
Yes.
So no problem. So okay, so after doing that, then I go through those links which my fellow colleagues have sent, Mr.
Yes.
James and Mr. Paul, and
Yes.
then I follow that. And in case of anything, I ask them or ask you.
Yeah. Yeah. Just if you are stuck, please just let me know. And
Then we will organize over the Zoom or something. You come and then you help me out, Amma.
yeah, if you have an issue, just communicate to me. If
Okay.
it's something that I can sort
Phone.
over the fly, then I'll just give you a hint straight away.
Okay, fine.
You'll be
Hi.
able to
So,
work
and
on it.
then, okay, and then, so coming back to my product in terms of progression and in terms of the process. So, okay, so my system will be linked to a calendar, not yet done. Allowed to view filtered reports, not yet done. To predict, not yet done. Promote, not yet done. So, users to register, that's what I'm working on. Pre-recorded, not yet done. Administrator, I'm working on. And this one, not yet done, not yet done. So, that's where I stand.
Yeah, so you still have a lot on your in tray,
Yes.
but I know. Okay, what I can advise you, don't uh, don't worry so much on the validation. First of all, make the the functionality up and running.
Okay.
Then validation, in most cases, will be during testing and evaluation. So I
Ah.
would encourage you, because it will make you to it will derail you
Yeah.
without making progress.
Okay, so no
So,
problem, sir.
yeah. So try to make all the functionality, even if they're done rudimentarily, but
Ah,
let them be there,
okay. And
so
then
that
so
we
okay,
can
okay.
reinforce. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then now my question is now quick one, last one. Now after generating these reports, where is the database called? Like this, what kind of code do I have to look for to display over here the statistics? How do I display the database over here into the website? This is using what? Ajax. I heard something Ajax. What?
No, it will be a mix, because if you talk of Ajax, that's also JavaScript,
Okay,
but
so
it will be a mix. But you
okay,
can start with just pure PHP.
okay,
Then when you want to filtering will
yeah,
now require the jQuery and the Ajax.
okay.
But for now, you can just display using a result set. So just search for PHP MySQL result set display. So a
PHP
result set,
MySQL result set.
yes,
I saw. Okay.
you'll get sample code.
I
You
saw. Okay.
just
Well,
query your
I'll,
database and
yeah.
display it
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Sorry to cut you short. I've showed you my work. Just excuse me. Now I'll need to prepare for opening my fast and see you then. I'll join the class. I'll just be busy for the next half an hour if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I
Thank
decided
you.
to go fast. Thank you, sir. But so far, so good. Any feedback, I'll appreciate.
Yeah. I'll just encourage you to move to just continue for progress faster.
Okay.
Try not to do a lot of
My daddy.
yes. Just try to make sure that all the functionality are somehow up, however rudimentary they are. First of all,
Yeah,
so
so
that when
first
it
I meet the
okay,
functionality, then I start spending time in making my daddy things of working on the filtration, validation, and all that. But first is to get the
yes,
functionality.
exactly.
So
Because
otherwise,
you can always modify a functionality to make it
mm,
better, but the best is to have it there,
okay.
however rudimentally it may be. Yes.
And a general overall feedback from the
Yeah,
last time,
yeah.
how you saw my work.
You've made progress, because last time you had not even connected the database. I
Yeah,
can see
now
lots
it's
of progress.
dynamic.
Yeah, so I see this is a good improvement,
Thank you.
and just move on. Just move on.
So during the day, during the week, we'll just talk over WhatsApp, and I'll be able to get hold of you in case so.
Yeah, in case you're stuck, please just
Uh,
let me know. I'll
so
see
thank you
how
so
to.
much. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Okay, thank you. And God bless. Stay safe. Okay,
Okay. Pray for us. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
All right. That was Osman. Let's now have Paul.
Hello. Can you excuse me for just a few minutes? Maybe somebody can skip me. I'll come that I need to sort out an emergency over here.
All right, no problem, Paul. I hope
Okay.
everything is okay on your side. Let's
Yeah, that's what I want to find out. Okay.
okay. Let's have Sahil.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Can you see my screen?
It's still loading.
Okay, just let me know.
Okay. Okay, we can see the screen now.
Yeah. So this week I haven't been able to do a lot, but I've met most of my requirements. So the first one was general information about Olympics. I have done that. It's
Okay.
just general information. Then second was calendar of game events. So when a user click view games, they take into the calendar. Basically, it shows the date and shows the sport. And when they click more, they're able to see what game it is, when the date is, and this is just to show like a previous Olympic event, how did it go. Like for 800 meters, this video of the last Olympics was Rio 2016. So
Yes.
it shows for all the games. And my admin page works. Sorry, admin login. As you can see, when I log in, they are redirected to the game page. Although I've not yet made the admin pages, so I still have to make that one. Even for players, I have to make a players list. Although for like I have each and every page for each and every player. Like example of this is just an example of player one. As you can see, his general information, name, date of birth, gender, country, sport, and just a small information about him. And that's all.
Uh, okay. I'm seeing player one has a different page. If you have 1,000 players, will you have player 1,000.php? Or what does that mean?
Uh, I guess yes, because like what my plan is, like when the user click players, he just sees a list
Yeah.
or uh, information which are more linked, which are like it redirects to them to the specific page.
Okay. So what I'm thinking, you don't need to create you create a page for each player. You can use the same page, but change the content so that either you can put this content into a database so that when you click on that page, then maybe you pass the ID of that player or something unique about that player,
Yes,
and it should pick.
yeah, this is from the database.
Yeah. So you don't need to create player one, player two, up to player 1,000 pages. Player 1,000.php. Yeah, because that one is not sustainable. And when you're working with dynamic content, we need to take advantage of dynamic content generation. Yeah, but still good. Those are now things that you need to be looking at in terms of making your product better. Um, can you tell us what you have achieved and what is still missing?
So I've done the first. Actually, I've done the fifth, all five. I have to do the sixth one, the admin
Oh,
side.
okay, can we let's just go back to okay. I'm in agreement with the general information about Olympics, but let's go to the calendar of game events.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the calendar.
yeah.
Okay, and this is the one that when you click, it goes to player one, player two.
No, no, no. This is shows the game, like information about the games. Like if I click, when I click the 100 meters men, it shows the game date, countries that are participating, about the game, just a small picture, and a video of the previous Olympics.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
I can see you're also using game one, game two, game three, game four. I think you're
Yeah.
using that kind of setup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one also you can change it. It doesn't mean that you've done it. You've not done it right. You have implemented the functionality. That one is okay, and yeah, that one I applaud you for that. But now you can do it better. Just as the same thing that I was telling Usman, that it is good to have the functionality up and running, whichever rudimentally you come up with it. But now the second phase, you need now to do it better. So just as the same as we've talked about player, let not have each player to generate a new page.
Uh,
Let's just have a common page, but let us pull this information from a database so that you you add that information to a template page, because I'm thinking that each page has the title, the game date, the countries participating, and about the game, and some profile, some picture on the right, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah. So you need just to have one PHP page, but you need to pass in some ID, some unique identifier, probably the ID for that player or for that game, and let it pull from the database. Then I think that one will be, you'd be able to do it, to be doing it better. I can see James has just given you a hint. Probably you can work with that. I don't know how you're. Can you share with us your backend? Say game1.php and game2.php. Ah, okay. Yeah, this is done nicely. You see, you have all the content. It is just now how to uh, display it. Just take us to the code.
Okay. So which code do you want to see?
For example, game1.php. Yeah, so you will find that game ID equals to 1. Now open game2.php. Game2.php. Yeah, so you can see what is changing is just that ID, game ID equals to 1, game ID equals to 2, right?
Yes.
And all these other content remaining constant. So you need to have game.php. It should not be game 1, not game 2, not game 3, but just game.php. And where you have 2, you need now to pass a request. You need to pass some, whether you're using, I think URL will work. Yeah, URL link, provided you work with get. I believe you know how to work with get and post, right?
Yes.
So you can work with the get so that you use the analogy that James has provided, so that once you have a listing of games, then on that URL to click game one, you have you have you concatenate it with the ID for that game. And when you come to the page of the game.php, instead of saying game ID equals to 2, you capture it up there. You capture it up there just after include. You capture ID. So you can just talk of game ID. Game ID equals to get. Then you talk of game, depending on the name of the field that you will use for that uh, for that uh, for that item, be it a game or be it a player. So just try to open where you have a listing of all these games on the calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is the link to game one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see, um, where is the link which you click?
Oh, oh, this one, this one.
Hyperlink. Yeah, so you see game one, instead of saying game one.php, you need to, now you need to also work with a control, a looping construct. Are you aware of a looping construct? A for loop? Or
Yeah, I understand the looping construct, but I'll need to figure it out.
yeah, so that you don't put statically game one.php, then you say more. So you can have all select game date, Olympic sport, game ID from Olympic game, but you don't say where game ID is one. You just select all of them. Then you use a for loop to now loop through and now put in uh, row, then game ID, row, Olympic sport, or game date, then Olympic sport, then that game one.php, you can call it, because already you have game, you can talk of game display or whichever name that you want to give that file, .php.
Mm-hmm.
Then you now put in a question mark, then you say ID or game ID equals to row game ID. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying.
I understood a bit, but I'll get through it.
Yes. Then once you do that, you now have created a dynamic link, which if you add a new game into the database, you don't need to come and update this page again. This page will now pull all the games plus the one that you've added without you editing this page and now calling it game 5. Suppose the last game was game 4. If you add a new game, then you have to come to this page and edit it again. Add a new game 5 below there, right? I believe that's also you're going to do, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one is not sustainable. And you cannot go far with that. So we need to work with the looping construct, which from that point of retrieving data, the query will be select game, Olympic, game date, Olympic sport, game ID from Olympic game without saying where, because where will just limit it to one.
Yes.
Right? So once you do a query, it will give you a result set. You see that part of result, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you now work with a looping construct, which I see you have commented. Can you see that commented code?
Yes.
Yes, so
Yes.
you
Yes.
need
So
to
I'll do.
open up that. That's what we want you to use, right?
Yeah.
So that you are going to say while row, I don't know why you're calling it row one, equals to MySQL fetch ASOC result. Yeah, then you're going to put all that into a loop so that div class container up to, yeah, div class container, all this is now inside a loop. And it is just one container which is going to display all the games in a similar fashion. So that's a template that is going to display each and individual game. So depending on the number, you'll not mind yourself coming back to update this page. If you add a new game, then a new container will be created automatically if you refresh that page.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you're getting what I'm trying to put across, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you do that, you need to replicate it on the player page. On the player page, you also need to work with a looping construct, but use a template that is going to display each player. And where you view more, you work with a common page to display the game or to display the player. So with that, you'll be able to work with dynamic content generation using PHP. So you'll see the difference between working with a static page generation, dynamic one. Yes.
Yes.
So you write less, but you do more, just with less. Yeah. And I think your colleagues, James has shared a link there that you can work with just to display a MySQL result set. Result set are now the rows that you have retrieved from a database, and you want to loop through it to display each row or each record from that database. So you can take note of the links that James has shared.
Yes. Yes, I will.
Yeah. Okay. Any other issue?
No, I wasn't facing any issues
Yeah.
for the time being.
Yeah. So the progress is good. At least you have somehow done almost all the functionality, but in a rudimentary way. So you need to do it in the right way to take advantage of the PHP, the full capability of PHP. So by incorporating that, I think your product will be a notch in the next level of development. So just just take advantage of that and improve on your product, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sahil.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back now. So I'm taking back my slots.
Okay.
So I made some changes from last week. Basically, I added a component here for showing the latest results
Yeah.
and upcoming events.
Okay.
Then I expanded this gallery to display like this. The Twitter feed remains the same here. I
Yeah.
also made changes to the events calendar.
Yes.
So my events calendar, I got some tips from some of the presentation from last week. So this is what I came up with.
Okay.
Basically, this shows any blues shows where when there's an event happening on that day, and then these are basically medals, meaning that there's a medal event. This is the opening ceremony, and the closing ceremony has an icon like this. Something else I made a change on was the country profiles. Uh,
Yes.
so basically, what I got to do is I made change. I I incorporated the medal history from I think I used up to from 1980 up to 2016, basically showing the medal count, and I integrated a line chart showing the number of medals with the specific keys here for the different types of medals. Yeah, I made
Okay.
improvements on the gallery over here as well. There's another section I also did some changes. I think it was the past Olympics. So this is where I had we had some recommendation to make changes on. So basically, I have about 701 records for games spanning from the 1980s, and I can be able to basically filter by the year that the games were happening. This is a jQuery data table plugin, so it's basically able to show me display for me. I can be able to view by medal statistics by year.
Okay.
The other bit that I did was the results. Um, no, I think the results were already there, but I think it's the data that I was adding mostly on. So like, yeah, this is what I was capturing, but I just picked at least the first three results for 3 or 4 results for most of the games. Um, I don't think there's anything else that I added from last time. So back to my schedule, my requirements. So basically, I had like these 8 main requirements. These are already translated into this document here, and I managed to basically handle all the features that have been placed. So I'm basically now waiting to go into the testing and evaluation phases for most of them. Uh, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But if you don't mind, I can share some view for Sahil to just show him to demo what you are talking about. If you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Please do.
Okay, Sahil. So what you're being told is to do. You read. This is code from an older system, so no problem. You can view it. So basically, you pull all your records, and then you do your looping like this and display your table rows so that they flow vertically. And this is now where you are supposed to put in your query string. So this ID is what gets appended. Become ID is equals to 1, or like player is equals to 1, and so on. So you don't it will just have the ID component. Then when you go to the backend, what happens? Sorry, not this one. When you are retrieving it, you have to retrieve it using a get method. This is how you get the query string. I've commented it over here. And then now when you come to reading, you append you append that query, the value that you get from the query string. So when you do that, you're able to pull records for only one particular person.
Yeah, that is perfectly demonstrated. So I think Sahil, you are able to see how you take advantage of the dynamic feature of PHP.
Yeah,
Sahil?
I understood a bit, but I'll work it out. I'll work it out.
Okay, that's good. That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Paul, for sharing with us that.
Thank you, Paul.
Right.
Yeah. So also, those who also have, this is a learning session. Don't make your product to be yours and yours alone, because you may think you are the one who is doing the best, yet other people have better ideas outside there. Yeah. So I think, yeah, this is good. This is good, and it will help others who may also be stuck somewhere in terms of displaying records. Because something that you need to understand is that the product development that we are learning is just about querying, just about putting some records into the database and querying them back, being able to edit, make changes to existing data, or deleting, removing them completely from the database. But the power comes into how you are displaying it. Yeah, how you are displaying it. So once you follow that structure, then you'll find everything just flows seamlessly. Yeah. So thank you, Paul, for that. Any challenge, Paul, that you are facing?
No, I think I managed to overcome the challenges. My biggest one was just about populating the data and getting the events to display like this. I mean, it was. Let me just show you how I have the database structure set up. Maybe this can help some others. So getting the events to work like that, it requires two tables, one having the main data, and then there's another one having the event calendar. So basically this is matching with that event table, and then the dates that the games appear. So for instance, this is event 52 would be wrestling, and it shows that wrestling is falling from this 1st to the 7th of August. uh, Wrestling should be down here, so this column here, 1st to the 7th. Yeah, so the initial part about getting this to work like this took up some time, but but at least I managed to get it to show. So I would say that this is the biggest one that I have faced so far.
Yeah, and the calendar is, yeah, looking nice. What now you can try to work around? Probably if somebody can hover, then get more information about that game. And I think you can use a jQuery, Ajax, maybe to uh, just have some more information popping up. I don't know if that you are able to retrieve that.
Well, okay, I don't have any extra data component, but now I will look at that, because what it means that I need either to put the description, and then
Yeah,
now have the description displaying on
exactly.
that page. Yeah.
Yeah, you can have the description and even a caption image. Do you have a caption image for each event, or you
Mm,
just have the titles?
I just have titles.
Okay. Yeah, but so far so good. Those are just some suggestions that can make it better. In terms of non-functional requirement, are you able to?
So my non-functional basically running on Apache 2.4 and with a MariaDB. So that's basically running on the XAMPP. This is Apache 2.4 basically. The database is MariaDB. I think I've demoed that. Major browsers, so I've done testing on Firefox. When I get to the testing phase is when I will go to these others. It's running on Laravel framework. Yes, that's already in place. My wish list, both the multilingual, I don't think I'll be looking at this. I probably would, because now I'm registering users, I would probably send them event notifications via email, and maybe look at the streaming. I can add some section for streaming and just have some videos. So basically these two, I might take them up. But although I've added more features than what I had already specified here, like the news modules, and also displaying the results and the calendar, that one wasn't part of my requirements.
Okay. All right. I think so far so good. So you can just take those suggestions just to make it better. Just ensure that, first of all, those requirements are working perfectly well. Then now you can incorporate your wish list, even if it is one or two. Then you can now just modify it just to make it more uh, just making it better and better, just to ensure that you have the best product at the end of at the long run. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see Kush is talking of Bootstrap 5. I believe which version of Bootstrap are you have you adopted?
I am running Bootstrap 3. Let me just check. Where is my Bootstrap? I didn't specify the Bootstrap version here, but it's Bootstrap 3 basically. So
Okay.
that
Yeah,
file,
3.4 and 3. No, that is jQuery.
there's a Bootstrap file here. 3.
Okay.
Yeah. 4 became a
Okay.
problem, so
But I think more.
I had put Bootstrap 4, but I had to downgrade it. It was creating a lot of problems.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can work with the model classes. Model classes, I think, are also available in Bootstrap 3.
Yeah, I have them. I have them here. So, for instance,
Yeah.
like adding, let me see the categories of games. Yeah. Did it pop up?
Yeah, in fact, yeah, we can see it's popping up. Huh?
So let me just try and add test value. So yeah, you get this feedback, and that's the record added.
Okay. Hello?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were gone.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
So that's it
Yeah,
from
I
me.
can hear you. I think the progress is good. So you'll just try to incorporate the suggestions that we put across. So let's see how how now you can concentrate on doing the evaluation, testing and evaluation.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Paul. I'm seeing Zainab was number. Zainab is requesting that
Hello, sir.
she comes on because her power is almost okay. James has allowed you. Thank you, James, for giving Zainab the opportunity. Yeah, so Zainab, you can go ahead.
Okay, sir. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
So this is my home page for the website. This shows the pictures. This is the logo and some introduction of the city of Yokio, and then about us regarding the Olympic Games. And also it shows the history of Fun Olympics. This is a video of it. And then it is divided into three: ancient Olympics, modern, and 21st century games. So if I click on ancient, it will show some of the history of it. Modern Olympics will show some of the history of it.
Yes.
And 21st century games will show some of the information of it.
Yes.
So once I click on enroll, a user can register.
Okay.
So let me just type in something.
Okay. Okay. So, all right.
Yeah, so once I click on register, it says user registered. And then you can see it over here, it has been registered. So I haven't done for the watch games. And then for the schedule, this is just a simple overview from the database, but I still have to work on it. And same as the sports, I've just shown it, but still the design is yet to be done.
Here.
The contact us form shows the area where the user can submit any inquiry, suggestion, or remarks. And it also shows some of the contact information of Fun Olympics in Yokio and international. And it shows the location of the Fun Olympics in Yokio.
What is
And
your?
of the city of Yokio.
Where is it?
Basically, I've just kept it of Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this is the admin page. I haven't worked on the home page, but it works. Like once I click on it, like once it will go to admin page. This is the admin page.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it for now. And then this is my database, the Fun Olympics. It has some of the tables and yeah. So basically I haven't worked much on it last week because I wasn't well. So
Okay. Yeah, but I see you are progressing well. Despite that, I believe you are progressing well. You
yeah.
need just now to tie the knots so that you complete, especially on the admin. I haven't checked your requirement specification document. Which functionality are you still working on?
I still have to work on the recorded games for the Fun Olympics. And then schedule, I've shown it, but just the design part.
Yeah.
The historical information is there. The contact form is there as well. Admin login is there, but the admin section is yet to be done.
Yeah.
And then showing various sports, it's there, but just the design part is yet to be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Zainab.
Thank you.
Any challenge?
Not yet, but just the bootstrap part is difficult with the JavaScript.
Bootstrap?
Bootstrap and JavaScript,
Okay.
because
But
I don't have any experience behind Bootstrap, so it's kind of difficult.
okay. But I think with what you've done, I think that should not give you a problem as such. If you just check for common tasks that can be performed using, because Bootstrap is will enable you to do the common interface design much easier.
Yeah, but like I've used most of CSS instead of
Yeah.
Bootstrap.
Or you're writing your own CSS.
Yeah, because I'm not sure like which one should I use for the Bootstrap. So most of the things I've done is CSS.
Can you share with us your index.php?
Okay, sure.
Okay. And probably the main style sheets.
Yeah, so this is my index.
Okay.
Like over here, I have used some of it.
Yeah, that is Bootstrap.
Yeah, but here is my CSS one.
Yeah,
So
now
like,
your CSS should not be part of your
no, it's a
okay.
different.
Index.css. Okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm also seeing some static nature of data. Yeah, because you've used Bootstrap. Have you linked it? I don't see where you've linked Bootstrap.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so all these are not being utilized. The classes and the IDs, because with Bootstrap,
No, it's there in this document. Everything's here.
right? You have the CSS, which you've written by yourself, but
Yeah.
you're not utilizing Bootstrap CSS because you need to link it. Even jQuery, you need to link it.
Yeah.
I believe you understand. You understand the linking.
Yeah.
The other,
But like over here for the JavaScript, I've written in the same document.
yeah, but okay, this one is jQuery.
Oh,
Yeah, this one should be jQuery. Let me see. No, it's JavaScript still. So JavaScript will still just work even if you've not linked it. So you need just to link it. You just need to link Bootstrap. That is, if you are going to use it. If you are comfortable with plain CSS and plain
because
layout.
it's not much of it. Like I've not basically I've not used much of Bootstrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know if you can if you can incorporate it, then it's going to simplify your design, especially on the display. You remember where you had schedule of activities, things like that.
Yeah.
If you have it, then by just putting a class, especially on table, if it is a table, you just include a few classes there, and your table automatically will look nice without writing a single CSS.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just review that so that it improves on your design and also on your interactivity. That is on the jQuery side, so that things to do with the filtering, things to do with the validation. I don't know how you're doing validation, because I know it will be a bit tough when you're writing all the PHP code to do validation. Yeah, but if
Yes.
you have jQuery, I know it will simplify most of the validation. Yeah, so that's what you can look at so that you
Okay,
improve.
but for the like PHP part, I just have to write one code which shows the information of each.
Yeah, this is okay. But up there, what do you have? Okay, spot and spot description. So that is like the label, the header labels. Then you're
No,
pulling all the spot.
this is
Is
like
it?
a table way, table header.
Yeah, and you are populating it with the spots from the spot table. That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is right. That one. You're doing it the right way. Then something again. When you look at admin, contact us, uh, badminton, basketball, football, athletics, are you able to see that? That is a navigation bar, right?
Yeah.
And it is common all through the pages, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that one also in terms of having a robust system, you can work with a template to have to have the navigation bar somewhere which you can just refer to. Because I'm assuming if you have 10 pages, then you introduce a new menu or a new page, then you have to update all the pages, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so to avoid that, whatever you call header, in fact, plus this favicon, the style sheet, they can be put in a separate page, and they can be included. They can just be included as pages somewhere. That just the same way you have done with index.css, you can include a header page, which will be included in every page, so that if you want to make changes on your header, then you don't need to, you are not forced to edit each and every page. You only edit that header page, and all the pages will, uh, all the changes will be applied to all the pages.
Okay. Anything else?
That that, that does it make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Is
and
it
I
similar
believe
to
you're
this one, right?
right.
It's similar to this one, right?
No. You link it in a different way because it's a style sheet. A style sheet, you use that. But if it is another page, then you can work with include or require. I think, yeah, James has shared something there. You can have require once, which means if it is absent, then it will generate an error. I think that
Okay.
is better. Yeah, you can have that in each page, so that
Okay,
your
makes sense, yeah.
header page is the one that is having home, enroll, watch games, and you just include it in different pages that you're working with.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, James, that one will generate an error if it is absent. If you try to require a page that is absent, then it will generate an error. And I think that is better, so that you are sure the page is not behaving abnormally without your knowledge. So you can work with the require ones just to include that header page in each in each of your web pages.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else that should be changed or?
I think that's all. Those are the things you can work on, and try to complete the other functionality, because next week we are doing an evaluation. So just ensure that all the functionality are completed, and you are able to tell us how to test them, basically.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Zainab. I believe your charge, even if it goes off, you are better off now.
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
James.
Yeah, James. Yeah, that was kind of you. So I think you can come on board now, James.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay.
You see that?
Yes.
So this week I've just been working on the admin pages and things like that. So, oh, and also adding in I thought that it'd be a good idea to have a link to the vote page on all of the pages, or most of the pages, just so people will know that they can vote. But so I think last week I hadn't done the news, but I've added that in. So now this is the home page with just the latest news. These randomize when the page loads, so it will show you different ones when it reloads, but then you can view them all again. I've just been tidying these up just to try and get them a bit more compact. I might remove this because I've removed it on the sports pages, but I don't know whether it's obvious. I mean, you can click these links and the image to go to the page, but whether it's less obvious that you can do that, but these all work. So this gets generated from the database, and then obviously when you click the link, it will pull the data from the database. So what else did I do? The vote page works. I think that was working last week, but yeah, from that I was doing a news page. So I think I showed some of it last week, but now I've added in the content for this, because last week I just had these Twitter feeds. So I thought it'd be a good idea to have some content, other content. The About page, I just put in some history of the Olympics, but I think I might move that to another one, because this About page should probably be about the Yokio Olympics rather than the General Olympics. So I think I said last time this got generated from the database, so it creates this based on the rows and the table. So if I log in, so there is an admin one. So this is, again, this has validation, but it's local client side. But then obviously when you submit, it will then check against the database if there's a matching records, and then it just redirects you back. So now we have the admin up here. So what I was doing yesterday was just creating this form to enter in, add a news article, because I thought that an admin might want to do that. So it's fairly basic, but because I'd already created the system, the database, so that it can have multilingual support. So you have to have the title in English, French, and then the same for the content. And then you can also choose the date and time that you want to have the news article stored at. So obviously if you want to put it in the past a few days or something like that. So that's that one, it does work. So the other ones, just some stuff from the results. So I had to use, this is JChart, I think, Chart.js, to create this. Yeah. So this just gets, the data just gets pulled from the result form, and then it gets, I've done the SQL so that it can select each of the submitted sports and then retrieve the titles of the sport from the other table, and then it sums up the sport votes, and then obviously this is a bar chart with the sports that have been voted on, so you can see that the various ones that have the sport, the votes for, and then it's just summarized up here. So I'm just thinking if I can do anything else on this, but because I've used this Chart.js, I don't know if you're gonna, if that's a problem adding in, because it's obviously its own framework, because I haven't specified it when I started out in the requirements. I don't know if that's an issue, or I can just say that to add the functionality I had to use it. Country results, because on the voting form you can put your country and your language. So I still probably will do a language one, but again, this just shows where people are from. What else? That was about it, really. What I still wanted to do was something similar like Paul with the event calendar, but that's a bit trickier. Like Paul said, it's you've got a lot of data to display, so I'm going to probably work on that this week. But otherwise, you can log in, log out. I don't know if you want to check anything else. Oh, my requirements spec. So I think I've covered most of these. In fact, looking at it now, I probably was a bit light on what I was really specifying, because there's a few things in the wish list that I've added. So for now, so I've done the news, support for additional languages. Now, although I've started out with that in mind, I don't know whether I'll be able to get it fully completed in time, but we'll see. So the next one I want to do is the calendar. These last two I'm not sure about whether I'll do that. But otherwise, now I think, apart from the calendar, I'll just be doing tidying up some of this code, because like you were saying, because I use a lot of the includes for the see like this for just general scripts or the sessions and stuff like that. So I just want to go through each page and make sure that they're all tidied up and in the right place. So it's a bit easier to read, because a lot of this is if and else statements in here to generate the pages. So I don't know if you want to check anything else.
Yeah, James, I think you have used Bootstrap.
Yeah.
Okay, which version?
4.
Version 4.
Yeah. I was also using this MDB, which is sort of an extension of it, but that's just a little bit styling here and there, but it's not that much different from Bootstrap.
Okay. Yeah. But if Zainab, you're there, you can now see that maybe James, you can show her how you have included Bootstrap and how you have worked with head.php. I think head.php is the one that has navigation bar.
I shared it last week.
Yeah.
There's a Bootstrap page that will show you how you have to implement. So all the CSS for your files goes in the head of your here in the head file, in the head section. So you include this head, so that's the CSS. So anything you want to use, like Bootstrap and your own CSS. And then at the bottom it is, I think it's here, no, scripts. So this goes at the bottom. So you had to have the JS files linked at the end. So you see that scripts there. So it should be the last thing that's loaded.
Okay. Okay, that's done perfectly well. Putting all the CSS on the header and putting all the JS at the bottom. Yeah, that's the recommendation, is to have all the CSS being loaded last.
You see this is the compiled, so that's in the head. So you see the head there, head closing there, and then this is the bottom with the scripts.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite
Okay, that's
understood.
good.
If you go on the
Yes.
Bootstrap site, it will tell you how to do it.
It's quite understood now, James. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you, James.
Okay.
So we are talking of what challenge are you facing right now?
The biggest thing, well, Oracle is always a pain because it's not as well documented as MySQL. But the biggest problem now, I think, is really the event table, creating the database and all that. But I'll get my head around it. It's just how to
Can you
create.
show us your
Huh?
Can you show us your connection screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a standard one. It's the one we got last term in web development. So you just have to require the MDB, which is part of the PHP files, and then you just put your connection details here.
Okay, that's good. Are you able to open MDB2?
This file, yeah, that's what I was saying is that's part of the PHP scripts, is it? Somewhere in here. So yeah, PHP pair. Yeah, that's the one I'm using. It's just because I used it last term, so I had it all set up anyway. So, but this is part of the pair installation for PHP.
Okay. Okay, I'm wondering why you are referring to it directly.
That's how it was said to include it. I'm just basing it off because it's pair and Oracle and all that. This is how we were told to do it from in term to Bernard sent over a file for getting it installed. I don't remember where I got it, but that's the way that they said to configure it. Is there a problem with having it that way?
I'm thinking if you work with, okay, once you install Oracle, then you need to, are you working on a Linux or a Windows environment or a Mac? No,
Windows.
Okay, this is
Windows.
Windows. So I'm thinking once you install Oracle, then you need to do something on your PHP dot
Ini
in.
file.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to check. If I could find it, I'd show you, but I can't see where I put it. But basically, there was documentation for going through and just configuring PHP so you can install. You have to install pair, add pair, and then reconfigure PHP to see it, so that it knows where things are.
Yeah,
So
because that one we're using which is it 10G or the
this is 18.
Oracle 10G?
18. Not sure I can see it. Yeah, but it's the latest one, 18C or something like that. Put it on Oracle. Sorry, 19.3.
19.3. Okay.
I should have put it in here. Yeah, 19C there.
Okay. That is, yeah, 19C SQL database. Mm.
Looking at it now,
Right. But I was,
well, but it's done now.
yes.
I'm saying I wish if you'd asked me now, I'd have said I would use MySQL instead, but I thought this would be easier, but probably not.
No. You using Oracle is good because I believe you are able to write a lot in terms of what Oracle, the features of Oracle, which means you can import it to, the code can now run in an Oracle environment. And provided you have Oracle as your, then you take advantage of those Oracle features that are not present in other databases, especially in terms of security, in terms of or reliability. Because I know Oracle is very reliable in terms of the amount of data it can handle, in terms of encryption of data and those things.
Yeah, but it's just it's not as well documented. So when you have a problem, then it's harder to find the way to fix it or how to do something because it's different from MySQL. So
okay,
in one way it's fine, but in another way it's a problem.
Okay. Okay.
This is just my load file, so when I want to refresh the system or whatever, but it can be used on anything. So it can just be imported.
Okay. I'm seeing Paul has shared something, setting up MDB2 in XAMPP.
Oh yeah, I think this was what.
Yeah,
because, this is what.
Yeah, because you need to. Yeah, once you set it, then you don't need to reference that library file in your code. The environment should be able to make it in such a way that it becomes transparent to you, and you just do the connection.
So you say I can remove this.
Yeah, once you do the configuration, so that your PHP is seeing MySQL. For now, it will break because you have not set it up. You need to configure it up so that your PHP is able to see it in the environment, the PHP environment. It's able to see the MDB2.
I'll look through it and see.
Okay, I think, yeah. We check on that.
Oh, I also, because it's Bootstrap and whatever, it's responsive. So I don't think I showed you last time. So basically.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's really nice.
Yeah, but this is just by design with Bootstrap. It's one of the advantages of it.
Yeah, we're using Bootstrap. Okay. All right. How are the menus? Does it create? Yeah, the menus disappear and it creates.
Yeah, this is done from the. So if I open up the navigation, so it'll query for the sport. Yeah, so it orders it by name ascending, so it's in order, and then
Okay.
the same for the stadium. So it fetches all the rows and then goes through the while loop for, so you set A to 0, and then while A is less than the total number of rows, then you output the, so this bit is for here. So I just had to do it a bit of logic, and it's probably a bit of a, not the best way to do it, but it's the only way I could think. So I want it split up, so you see it's each row is like 10 or 15, so I needed to split it by that. So I just had to do the logic.
Just split them. Okay.
But I'm not that great with PHP, so that was the only way that I could think how to do it. And the same for this one. But then obviously some things, these are just static because they'll always stay the same. But the login, once you log in, then the same thing happens for the drop-down menu. So obviously when you log in, then it adds the, if you're an admin, then it will create the extra drop-down menu. So you don't see that unless you're logged in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's nice. Okay, James. So what is remaining is just to you want to complete on the reports. You said you are working with in terms of generating the graphical reports, you're using which?
It's chart.js. I think it's chart. This one.
Okay.
And so this is just the quickest way I could think to get these reports done, rather than having to create them by PHP or whatever. But that one I didn't specify in here because I didn't think about it at the time. I hadn't actually heard of it, but so this is just generated from the. So if I show it, so basically it will take the. So it does the query, yeah, for the results. This is just the PHP for setting up those bits. And then again, it does a while loop to fill in the X and Y values. So that's here and here. So it basically just takes that from the database. And then, so obviously if there's athletics and it's got 6 votes, then it'll put that there. You can see it a bit easier in the source code. So you see how it does that? It just adds that in there, and that's the labels. So it just uses that to create the chart.
Okay. Oh, so you are passing the data as JSON?
No, it's it's JavaScript, and I believe it looks like JSON, but I'm not sure if it is.
Yeah, it's JSON.
It's just the variables and the content.
Okay.
This is just the colors for the columns.
Okay, and the real data is that 64644.
Yeah, it's because of the way I've had to. You see how it's done that? It just echoes the rows. Yeah, and then does a loop. So it's not formatted like this one where it has the break, but it is there.
Yeah, yeah, but I think it's good. It's good. You have incorporated it, but we'll try to check whether it's passing the data in the required format. If you check on this bar chart, right?
This what?
This should be a bar chart, right?
A budget?
James?
Yeah, I can't hear you. I don't understand what you're saying.
What you've generated is a bar chart, right?
Oh, bar
On
chart.
that,
Sorry, yeah.
yes,
The bar chart, yeah.
yeah. So you can just confirm with the chart.js if the data is being passed in that array form.
Yeah, I'm doing it how it's said to do.
Okay.
The only difference is that they have.
Okay, so just go to the data part, the JSON for data.
On here.
Yes. So
yeah, this one doesn't
data.
have the. I'm guessing it is JSON formatted, but stacked horizontal bar chart. Set up. The problem with this is it's a bit confusing in how you put the data together, but
yeah, you've done it right. It's only at the point of data that it's not pulling the data and displaying it appropriately. You find they have some.
Which way? This is the data from the database, so it's correct. If you look at the sport, so this is my sport form. So you can see all these IDs. So there's 4 entry fields on the vote form, and then these all relate to sport, the numbers, which get then you see here. So these 2 tables. This basically. This is created from these two tables. It gets that, and then it also gets the sport name, and then that query creates a sum of all the. So if there's 10 votes for sport number 3, then it adds that together, and then that's how it gets displayed. So it is pulling the data. This is accurate data.
Okay.
It's just the way that you see here. It's just not displaying it with the line breaks, but otherwise it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good step. Yeah, just try to refine it so that at least it displays it correctly in terms of the labels and trying to match the labels with the data so that you have because I'm seeing from the last one up to is it wrestling? That is wrestling. From wrestling up to the last one, I'm seeing they are all the same.
Yeah, because they only have 1 vote each. See, this is the number of votes here on the left, this axis, and these are all of the.
Can you try to make a basketball vote?
Yeah.
1 vote for basketball.
So there you go. So now I showed you that it's grayed out as well. So I'll just do 1 for that. So you can only do 1. So you do that. See, that's gone to 5.
Okay.
So they do work. It's just how it's displayed in in the final output.
Okay. That's good. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you want me to see any. I think I've showed everything. It's the same for this. So now you see that was the one I just added, Armenia. But this is the test data. I've already added in test data. That's why there's some stuff populated already, because I wanted to just check that it was working. So yeah, so these are the people, and then these are the sport form fields that I generated. So if I reload the database, then it's already got stuff populated already. So I don't have to keep redoing it.
Okay. So you have a script for populating some sample data?
Yeah, it just makes my life easier than redoing it every time.
Okay. All right, James, I think you're on the right track. You've really made progress in terms of implementing your functionality. So I think you can just work on a few changes that just to complete everything.
Yeah.
And if you can work on a wish list, maybe 1 or 2, I think that would be good. But now you can, once you finish the functional and non-functional requirements, you can now start looking at how to do evaluation for them. How do you evaluate those functionality? And that's what we'll be doing next week.
Yeah, I've already got some ideas for the test cases.
Yes. Yeah. So that's good. That's good. Thank you very much, James.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, that was James. Let's see who is next. From the list should be Kush.
Hi. So
Hi.
My screen.
Yes.
So last week you told me to add some features to the calendar. You told me to add models, which I've done. It gives you a better description, like where it will take place and what time. I've done the same for the rest. It gives you a better description.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also added a filter. So like, let's say you want to search a sport, it will filter it. Yeah, I also added a filter for leaderboards, as you'd said. Yeah. So those are the main changes you gave me last week that I worked on. I couldn't add the filters on each of the columns. I couldn't figure that out, so I just added a search bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really nice. I think Paul can borrow the idea. I think he had tried. He had also incorporated it the model display, the model dialog box, which you have. I think you've done it also very nicely, and also the auto filter. Those are really nice features.
Oh,
You should be in a position to to explain how they work. Those are Ajax. I believe you use Ajax to
so it was a jQuery.
Okay.
Yeah. So the code is here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's which library of jQuery? It should be Ajax.
so it uses. I'm using this one. Just the normal jQuery, sir.
Okay, but we are not able to see.
Yes, yes, I'm showing you. Here's the script for the filtering, and
No,
it
Kush, we're just seeing the website, not your code.
Sorry.
Yes, Kush, we are only seeing your page.
I hope you can see the code now.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So I'm using just this normal jQuery. It uses this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now the code that does that should be a jQuery. It should be Ajax.
So this is the code that I'm using for filtering. It's
Okay. Yeah, that is for filtering the table.
Yeah, and then it filters it through through the input class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I believe you are able to explain how that happens, right?
So I'll have to read a bit more on it. I don't really know how. I don't know JavaScript. Like it took me like a whole week to make this stuff work.
Yeah, which is good because you are learning, and that's okay. It is the power of a framework. For example, if you are using jQuery, because if you are writing this as plain JavaScript, then the whole of this page will be full of JavaScript code. But if you use jQuery, then things are simplified, provided you are able to apply it appropriately. But you need to understand how it works. That's the most important thing, because next time you're developing a product, it will not be pulling a table of just 3 items. Maybe somebody wants to tell you to pull items, maybe that have different in terms of how they are put. So you'll have a different use case. So the most important thing is to understand how it works and how you can manipulate it to fit your business case, or the kind of scenario you want to come up with, or to operationalize, basically.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But that's just the power of jQuery. For those who would also want to incorporate jQuery, it will, once you understand how it works, then you can implement very complicated functionality within a short time.
Yeah. So now the models I implemented.
Okay.
I did them through
yes.
Bootstrap 5. Yeah. It just uses Bootstrap, no JavaScript of that I had to code. It just uses the Bootstrap classes, the already Bootstrap JavaScript.
Okay.
Yes,
But
so
are you generating this from the DB, or I think now you need to pull this information from the DB.
from the database.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So I tried to do it last week, but I couldn't figure out how to make the tables for this one specifically.
Mm. Yeah, you need to figure out so that when it comes to date, we don't see a static date there. We just see a PHP variable. Remember what we did, what we explained with the case of Sahel, displaying of a result set, which means you pull the data from a table, from a database table, then you loop, you work the loop, then where you have labels, for example, date and time, then instead of having Sunday, 8 August from 20 to 23, you now have data being read from database table. When you talk of venue, venue now you also pull using a variable, a result set variable, which you have retrieved from a database table. So maybe you can work around that.
Sir, but the dates and times are like set in stone. Like
sorry?
These dates and times are like set in stone. Like they won't be changed.
No. They can't be cast on stone. They have to be. When you're working with dynamic websites, then we don't want to put them as static text. They need to be dynamic so that when an administrator changes the content, changes the date and time, then you don't need to call the programmer to come and edit this. We would want this to be dynamic, which means changes in the database will change the content on the page, on the web page. So try to work around on that so that this is displayed as a dynamic content.
Yes, sir. I'll work on it.
Okay. Any other challenge?
No, sir. Sir, I'll just sir, no challenge.
Okay. In terms of your requirements, what?
So according to my requirements, I'm done. Like functional, I still have to test for some non-functional, but that I'll do during like the testing phase.
Yeah, but you need to fix it. You don't need to fix it during the testing phase. You need to fix it and be in a position to test or do an evaluation on it. Remember when we are talking about test cases. So you need to be in a position to do a test case, which will check whether you have done the function, the requirement, whether functional or non-functional.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But sir, all my functional requirements have been met, so yeah.
Okay. All right. then that's good. But now you need to do it in the, as much as you've done it, which is good, that is a plus. But we need now to check whether you've done it using the right tools, or you've used the right approach, the approach that is sustainable, that is that conforms to the standards. And that's why now we are saying, instead of putting this as static text, you now put it as a dynamic text.
Yeah, so that's fine. Like I just have to make this change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So all the places where you ought to have pulled the data from the database, just try to convert them into a dynamic content. And with that,
Yes.
you'll be towards completing a very comprehensive product that will be competing in the market.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Sahil. All right. Next, we have Zainab had done. Kush is already done. So who is next? Diego? Naval?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you have something to show us?
We went through my implementation last week. So, but I haven't made any changes from there since the last week, since the last lesson.
That's worrying, because we are moving fast. Time is moving fast.
But I can compare it with my requirement specification.
Okay, what is remaining in terms of requirement specification?
Like I've done everything in requirement specification, but I can compare my implementation with the non-functional and functional requirements.
Yes. So on your part, just go ahead.
So this is can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
So basically, the first one is the administrator should be the only one with the authorization to access users' data to maintain security of users' data. So for that, I haven't yet done that one. The ability for a user to put in the information about themselves easily, for example, date of birth, country, and email, that's been done over here. Can you see this other screen?
Yes.
Okay, then the administrator will be the only one having the privilege of being secured with the password, while the user will not. So if I go back, you can see it asks for a password, while the user does not require a password. only other information about themselves, like the email, date of birth, country, city, phone number, and gender. And then we have the non-functional requirements. Should be compatible with the common web browsers like Chrome and Firefox. If you can, as you can see, I'm using Chrome.
Yeah, but okay, something is not right somewhere. Just go back to your requirement, the specification document. So what is the niche feature about your product? What is the compelling functionality? What is the main functionality of your product?
Yes.
That is supporting the Yokio committee, the Yokio Olympic committee.
You mean the product? Like what the solution?
Yes.
What the solution is?
Yes.
It is what do you call? Let me show you. It email updates on Fun Olympics registration system. So basically, if this like the administrator, the user will put in their own information, and then they will receive automated updates on the events that are taking place at the Fun Olympics.
Okay, so you need to do that very well.
Okay.
I don't know what have you done in terms of that, because yeah, I remember that was the main thing about your product.
Yeah.
Getting notification,
Yes.
mail notification. So are you able to generate email notification once you sign up?
I haven't made a template for the email, the automated email.
Yeah, because that one should work out very nicely.
Okay.
Because that's the main thing. That is the main thing about your product. These others are generic.
Yes.
Because each product has a specific niche among other products. So that one has to come out very, very clearly, and it has to be shown. It has to be demonstrated in a very clear way how you've achieved that and how it would add value to the Fun Olympic Committee.
Yes.
So you need to work on that very, very fast. And
by next lesson.
Yeah, you remember next lesson we'll be doing evaluation. So during that time, I'll just be awarding marks, comparing what you have vis-a-vis what you had promised to deliver. So you need to work on it intensively.
Yeah. Okay. And then
and are the details being put on the database first of all? Because the way you're passing those details are also not quite right, because that is very risky. I'm seeing once I put my country email address, then somebody can steal them from the browser. Just go back to that.
Yeah.
There's another page somewhere. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Why passing all that? Passing first name, val, email, e.g. Are you seeing something on top there?
Oh yeah. Email updates on Fun Olympics.
No. On the URL.
Oh, the URL.
Yes. You know where URL is?
Yeah. Localhost.
Are you seeing the content that are being passed there?
Yes.
Yeah,
the
so
first
that
name.
is very,
yeah.
That is very risky. You don't need to pass sensitive information
I think if I remove this, it will go. I'm not sure.
All the forms should be submitted using.
There is that better?
Yeah, but okay, just click on a place for registration.
For the administrator or the user?
Even the user.
Yeah.
Are you able to
connect it to the database?
Yeah.
I haven't yet done that one.
Yeah, so that one you need to work on.
Yeah.
And by the time you are submitting this form, please don't use the get. Don't use the get to post your data. You use the form submission method post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how to change that from get to post?
I'm not really sure. I'll have to go into what do you call tutorials point and do it.
Okay. Yeah, so that first of all will be the main thing that we'll be looking at.
Okay.
Whether you can securely allow people to register.
Yes.
Then after that, to get email notification about the events.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need to work on that. You can check comments by James. Yeah, use post, not get. Paul, yeah, you're using get to submit. Yeah, you should be using post. So you can see you have a ton of advice just to make sure that you are pushing the data in a secure way. So convert your form to be to use the method post instead of get. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, then you can also improve on the interface in terms of the CSS. I've not seen any photo. I've not seen then the colors. I think you can do something on the interface just to make it a bit lively, because this is an Olympic page.
Yes.
This is an Olympic website. So let's see some Olympic
pictures.
Yeah, let's make it Olympic at least. You know, Olympic is a game that people play when they are very high in spirit.
Yeah.
Let them at least feel high when they reach your website to get at least to make them have that Olympic spirit. You can check on if you want to work with Bootstrap, or you just want to write your own CSS, still there's no problem, but just ensure that the page is nicely styled. The style is up to speed. So just check on that, because you have stated it very nicely there under a non-functional requirement. That the web page will be easy to comprehensible and simple, and have a bit of color to look attractive and pleasing to the eye. So we need to see that. We need to see that being displayed. Okay, Nava.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your time, for showing us your progress. Okay, so who is next? All right, if we don't have anybody coming next, maybe somebody with a question. Okay, if you don't have questions, please note that next week we are doing evaluation. So evaluation will be looking at what you had specified under your specification, requirement specification document, and trying to go through that methodology or the process that you had put forward, just to confirm that the functional requirements, both functional and non-functional requirements, have been implemented. During that day, we will not be awarding marks or saying something, but we'll just be checking on how you can come up with the test cases, just to confirm that you have implemented the product the right way. And from there, you can now come up with a test case to document how somebody can evaluate your product, just to confirm that your product is doing what you had proposed from day one, from the first day. Yeah, so that's what we'll be doing next week. Those who have not submitted, I don't know what you'll do, because yeah, it will be a bit hard for you to tell us that this is how you are going to evaluate it, and yet it is not yet complete. So we are assuming that by next week, all the functional requirements, all functional and non-functional requirements have been implemented. And now you are just telling us how to confirm that they've been implemented. That is evaluation, testing and evaluation. Yeah, so I think we'll stop there. If you have any issue, please drop me an email. And I think I'll be able to respond to you. And continue the spirit of teamwork. If you're also stuck somewhere and you've seen somebody has implemented something close to what you're looking at, remember, all these things are related. It's only that we are solving a problem in a different way. So please feel free to contact your colleagues in terms of implementing certain features of your product. You can also reach me just in case you are stuck somewhere. Okay, so you have a good evening. Let's meet next week.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Sir, what if, hello?
Yes, Zina.
Sorry, what if we are like not done with all of the stuffs next week?
We are trying to encourage you to be done. Okay, you may not be completely done, but let's see what you have by next week.
Okay, and for the test case, like for my case, I have questionnaire. So
Yes.
as in like it's like a checklist type. So do I have to create it this week?
Yeah, just prepare what you have in terms of the process of evaluation. How can we evaluate your product? So basically, that's what we'll be looking at.
But then if it's not done 100%, so there is no way of evaluating. I'm meaning that way.
No, that's not the case. If you have not done it,
No,
then
as in like if you have it, but it's not like 100% done.
yeah, that's what I said. Have something that you can show. It may not be 100%, but you may have done something towards that functional requirement.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay,
during our next week, we'll just be reinforcing on how to improve on that functionality to confirm whether you have achieved it, but it doesn't mean that you'll be graded on that day. It will prepare you for the demonstration of your final product.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I get it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome.